In August, when that fixture list comes out, there are two teams I look for first in the Premier League seasons, and that is Spurs and Manchester United. This game means a lot to me. Welcome to the preview for Forest versus United. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the preview. And yes, you will have to forgive me this week because I need us to win this badly. Doing the double over United. We ain't done it since 91-92 apparently. I need this. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And let me know in the comments down below, what's the first team or couple of teams you look for at August that you get excited about or have rivalries about in the Premier League? Obviously, Derby aren't in it, so we're not looking at those dates. Let me know that in the comments. And also, if you want to see my predictions for all the midweek games, please do go and subscribe to our second channel, the Footy Network. You can scan this QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments down below. And let's get into this one. And as I said on Grumpy Old Reds the other night, I will get annoyed, I will get angry, I will get passionate about this game because I hate them. I hate their guts and I want the double over them. And, you know, I've done a preview of Cass for you guys on Patreon if you want to go check that out. I begrudgingly, you know, was able to stomach him for a video. And it's interesting to hear what he's got to say about United and where they currently are in their season. And I'm smelling blood. And I want to get that wound that they've got that's dripping blood now and just rip it wide open. I want them to suffer. I want Forest to smash them tomorrow night. Now, there is context to this game because obviously we've played 120 minutes against Brighton in the Cup. Manchester United have been on the beach for the last 2 weeks. They've done nothing in the international break. So you could argue they are fresher. They've had a couple of players come back. We'll talk about that in just a second. And we are nursing a few injuries. Nuno's done his presser today. He's saying that Chris Wood is recovering. He was very cagey about the timeframes. As we mentioned on Grumpy Old Reds or Happy Old Reds yesterday, that there are kind of, you know, notes and rumors, etc., saying that Chris Wood's out for 4 weeks. He may be in surgery today, having an operation on his hip, and so on and so forth. So I think it's fair to assume that Chris Wood will be out. Also, in terms of the team's fitness, Nuno said he's assessing it currently. But what I love about what he said is this whole 120-minute thing. It's not in his mind. There's no excuses. Forest will be ready for tomorrow night. And Forest, he says, in his words, are confident. Under the lights, at the world famous, Forest, he believes, are confident and can do this. And you know what, Nuno? You're my boy, man. Get it done. Get it done for me, for the rest of the Forest fans as well. The question is, though, is Nuno going to change his tactics a little? Because we are seeing this new development of this 4-3-2-1 formation, the Christmas tree formation. We saw that in the Cup against Brighton last week, against Man City as well. He changed that in the second half, which caused us to go on and win that game. Or is he going to stick to the 4-2-3-1? I think, well, what I think is, we'll talk about it in a second when I bring the team sheet up. But either way, we should have enough firepower to beat this relegation-threatened Manchester United team. This team that has no cohesion right now. This team that's gaslighting the fact that they've won 4 in a row because they're not counting the loss on penalties against Fulham. This team that hasn't won 2 games back-to-back in the league all season. And you know what? They're sitting on a W from before the international break. But this is the team that are getting excited about beating Leicester, who are giving away free wins right now. In fact, Leicester are giving away wins so easily, they haven't scored in 2025 or since like December something. So let the United fans gaslight it. As we mentioned on Grumpy Old Reds yesterday, you got that idiot Goldbridge claiming they're going to win 2-0, be quite comfortable at the City ground. But this is going to be a cagey game because both teams' defences are actually quite watertight. Manchester United, I believe, have one of the best away defensive records in the league, and Forest obviously have one of the best home records in the league as well. So it will be about the old cliche, who can convert and take their chances. But before we get into the ins and outs of the game, let's go and have a look at the team sheet and what I think is going to happen. Alright, so this is the team that started against Brighton. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was. And it was in that Christmas tree formation, the 4-3-2-1. Now, off the back of that, there's been no real talks about injuries, maybe apart from Morgan Gibbs-White, who came off weirdly in the 119th minute just before the penalty shootout. I think he'll be fit enough to play for this one. Remember, Gibbs-White is a boyhood United fan. Sorry, that was hard to bring out. It's the one blemish I think he has on his record. That's his one weakness maybe. But what I do like about Gibbs-White is he tends to score against them. And he celebrates. Anyway, I think we go to the 4-2-3-1. It just feels like it's going to be that kind of game. Width will be good. Manchester United play in a 3-4-2-1 formation. And if we can get them out wide, cut off their chances, create our width, because their wing backs will try and push up, that's where the space is going to be in those channels for Callum Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, who I think will start. And that's what I'm going with. I think Yates won't start this one. He played 120 minutes. I would go Dominguez and Anderson as the 6 and 8. I don't think Danilo did enough for me to warrant the starts in this game, and I'm bringing back I'm starting Callum Hudson-Odoi and Elanga. And I actually think that's a safe assumption to make, that both Elanga and Hudson-Odoi will start because they didn't start against Brighton. Yes, they both came on in the second half, but freshness-wise, they should be quite fresh. So I can see those two coming back in. The backline doesn't need touching. You got Williams, who I think's been sensational this season, Eminem in the middle, and Ola Aina. Now, he's played 120 minutes. He usually gets knackered after 120 seconds in a game, but I think he'll be fine for this. And then Sells is doing Sells things right now in goal. And Taiwo will have to start because obviously Chris Wood doesn't look like he'll be ready for this game. Now, alternatives here. You could see, if he hasn't been that impressed with Taiwo, maybe Jota Silva coming and playing up front down the middle, or Jota Silva coming on the right and Elanga going up front. I'm not expecting that at all. I'm actually very confident that this will be the team that starts. The only other change, maybe Sangare coming in for Dominguez. Now, I think there's a reason why we haven't seen Sangare. I know Rob said it on Grumpy Old Reds the other night. He's just gone further down the pecking order. I don't think that's the case. Obviously, Sangare is Muslim and Ramadan has just finished. So I think Nuno's been quite smart in his lack of use of Sangare, not playing him while he's fasting, etc. It makes sense. I think in our squad, both Sangare and Bolly are Muslim. I'm not sure. There's probably one or two others. There definitely is in the youth team, etc. And I think that's why we haven't seen Sangare. So I don't think he will start him. I think it'll be Dominguez, and then Sangare or Yates will come on in the second half, hopefully once we're a couple of goals up. But I just can't see past this team. I think this is the team that starts. This is the kind of team that Nuno's been going with in the recent victories we've had against Man City, Ipswich, etc. in the league. And I think it's literally a very easy team to pick. But would you guys make any changes from now? Let me know in the comments. So how do I see this game going? This is like, does my hatred for them and my love for Forest cloud my judgment at all? The answer is no, because I think Man U are very easy to read. If you lose to Man U, you've really messed up this season, because right now they're Bruno FC. And I don't even rate Bruno that highly, but he seems to be the one who can turn their fortunes and their luck from losing a game to drawing or potentially winning it at, be it with a random free kick goal from 25 yards or whatever. They're Moments FC, but they're just not Moments FC in terms of any player could bring that moment out for them. Right now, in the form he's in, Bruno for me is the only one who can unlock doors. Now, could someone else step up? Like, they've got a couple of players that maybe would worry me. I actually think, as much as it pains me to say, Xerxes isn't as bad as some of their fan base makes out to be. I think he's quite good on the ball, but has no end product. The one I don't rate at all, as you guys probably well know, is that zip-face Højlund. I think he's one of the worst strikers I've ever seen in the Premier League. Yes, I know he scored against us at Old Trafford, but he's only scored since then, I think, 1 goal, and that was against Leicester. And then you got players like Garnacho who just don't seem to be able to put a run or a streak or make the right decisions. And then you got their midfield, which is basically a 2-man midfield. It'll be Bruno and probably Ugarte in that midfield. And this back three is just not cohesive enough for me. They got a couple of injuries. Martinez is out. Harry Maguire may be back. I hope he is. But in their defense, I would say the only one who has looked consistent is probably De Ligt. The rest of them depends, because Mazraoui, although he's all right, sometimes plays right wing back, sometimes plays right centre back. But what we need to make sure we do is just pepper that goal, because that clown they have in goal in Onana, as we saw in the first match when Gibbs White just shot a ball straight down the middle and he got out the way, is an absolute clown and has mistakes in him. Now, they were conceding a lot of goals from set plays. That well's dried up a little bit. But I could see us maybe getting Milenkovic, to cause them a threat from corners, from dead balls, and things like that. Manchester United are a team that will try and have the ball, but when you give them the ball, they don't really do too much with it. I still think they're a very sideways passing team. And I think they are very, very blunt up front. So the key here for Forest is to keep it tight, keep to that normal game plan that we have, and we will create chances. And when we do, we need to convert them. Now, without Chris Wood up front, we're going to rely on Taiwo. But I expect the man to step up in this game to get the goals. Is probably, arguably, one of the least strongest finishers in our team. And I'm talking about Morgan Gibbs-White. He has many, many hugely good attributes, but finishing for me isn't his strongest. But he seems to always get a goal against them, and I'm backing him to do it. I'm going big here, guys. I'm going Forest win this 5-0. There, I said it. Clip me. I don't care. I am that confident in this game, and I hate Man United that much. I need to see 5 as a minimum, because that 8-1 still lives in the memories, and it still hurts. What are you guys going with? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And make sure you're subscribed over on the Footy Network. Remember, there's my prediction video there for all the other midweek fixtures. And coming up in a little bit on here, we'll have my combined 11 for Forest and Manchester United. We will see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.